Pain and suffering in an auto accident case. What is it? How is it calculated? If you Google this, there are so many different things, none of which are right, mostly. Or maybe you're just here to win these Flyers tickets. Anyway, welcome to Monday Morning Lawyer. Good morning and happy Monday, everybody. It's Jobeth Bowers, your accident and injury attorney. Maybe we got some super happy Ravens fans out there who are waking up from that absolute stomp fest last night against the Bills. I can tell you, I did not expect that to be the outcome of the game. So good on them and happy to see that happen. We are doing a thing here where if you, like Lori just did on Facebook, are here and you're in the stream and you comment or in any way are interactive. Hey, Scott, how are you? This is going to be a lot of an event where people are putting in the information here. Disappointed Steelers fan. That's right, because not only did the Steelers show their true colors yesterday, but the Ravens also did the same, and those went in two totally different directions. Steelers are typically, what I've seen in the NFL, more apt to string their fan base along when, 8 or 10 of the first 11 or so games looking really good, and then they let it all fall apart near the end. This is starting to get complicated. I like it. So we got, I'm going to put these names in here because we're going to do a drawing at the end of this feed, and we're going to give away a pair of tickets to the Flyers home opener, which is on Saturday, the 19th of October. We got that hypnosis guy in here. That's exciting. But what we're going to do here is keep commenting in the chat. I'm going to try to manage both of these. But today we're talking about pain and suffering. Pain and suffering in accident cases. It is a concept that if you search this on the internet, you are going to see a ton of different things, none of which are completely accurate. You're going to see people saying, oh, yeah, you just multiply the medical bills by a certain amount. You just this, you just that, whatever. None of it's accurate. You can't take the internet. You certainly, oh, man, go to ChatGPT and type in, hey, what is my accident case worth? And you are going to get all sorts of wild hodgepodge pieces of all of this. The fact of the matter is none of it's real. It is, ultimately there are two different phases to these claims. All right. There are the pre-suit situation where we have not filed a lawsuit. We are negotiating back and forth with an insurance company. We are trying to get top dollar for your accident claim. We've talked in previous episodes about what exactly it is that goes into the value of one of these cases with respect to medical bills and wage loss and things of that nature. Those are all an initial kind of framework, a baseline dollar for dollar. And again, this advice, if you somehow have stumbled upon this video and you are not in the state of Maryland, this may not apply to you. So be careful. Kind of like some of those results that you'll see on Google, this may not be accurate for you if you're not in Maryland, because different states have different rules on calculating the value of these cases. In Maryland, there is an evidentiary rule that says that no matter how a medical bill is paid, if it's paid at all, prior to the negotiation of a settlement or a trial or what have you, there is no credit that the at-fault party gets for payments that you may have made. This is if you use your personal injury protection coverage, your health insurance. Some anonymous benefactor decides, hey, I'm going to just pay off a bunch of people's medical bills. That never happens. But let's just assume that's another example. You've cash paid. None of it matters. The amount of the medical bills is what gets presented in court to a judge or a jury, assuming your attorney does all the work to properly authenticate those bills. So 100% of those medical bills should be considered in the settlement, but that's not what we're talking about today. In fact, if you want to know about those calculations, there are previous episodes of the podcast that you can listen to, watch, or however you want to take it in, that are going to talk to you about how all that stuff is calculated. That is kind of the baseline. Then we get to pain and suffering. What did you really go through? How did this impact your life through the course of your medical care? And in many situations with more serious injuries, with permanent ailments, even though you may not be 100% disabled, you still may have issues down the line and for an indefinite period of time as a result of injuries sustained in these accidents. There is value in that. If your attorney is not talking about that, or if you're vetting attorneys and they're not talking about that with you, you might want to rethink who you're working with. Not that I'm trying to take business off of other people, but make sure you get somebody that knows what they're doing and how to calculate these. What did my client go through in the course of care and beyond as a result of the accident? One of the main things, and this is super important, hopefully you're watching a video like this, no matter where you are, before you see doctors, before you really get into the weeds, because a lot of what's going to happen and how it translates into these cases is, what did you complain about to the doctor? What did you tell the doctor your difficulties and your issues are? Here, we see a lot of people, especially here in Cecil County, in Elkton. I have so many clients that are like, just rub some dirt on it and move on. Now, they need medical care, but they're really kind of like those, they want to be tough. They want to move on. I see it all the time. They don't want to get care that they don't need. I don't see that in every jurisdiction that I've handled these cases in. But here in Cecil County, nobody's getting care that they don't need. Nobody has time for that. Nobody is in that mindset. So when you go to the doctor and you're complaining about what hurts you, it's important that you also communicate the ways that it affects you on a day-to-day basis. What do I mean by that? There's this concept, this term called activities of daily living. They can be anything that you normally do. It can be cooking. It can be cleaning. It could be recreational things. It can be, again, things that you need to do, things that you want to do, a mix of both. What can't you do now, or couldn't you do temporarily? Some are temporary, some are permanent, all have value. What was made more difficult in your life? Not just, oh, there's this sprain, this strain, it hurts. It's an 8 out of 10. That's a factor. But also, did you, can you not sit for extended periods of time? So you had to give somebody your tickets to the football game last night. Did you miss out on that opportunity? Was there a vacation that was scheduled that either A, you couldn't go on, which actually has a dollar value to it, not just a pain and suffering value, or did you just not enjoy it the way you could have? Did you get in an accident 3 days before you went on a cruise and you really couldn't relax? Or 3 days before you went on an all-inclusive vacation and it really diminished the true benefit of that reset, that relaxation, that, a lot of times we go on vacation. If we go on vacation, it's a total problem here in the US that people don't use vacation time. Statistically, this is a thing that's been proven, that so many hours of vacation are just burned every year, whether they're, whether they roll over or not. But it's a great tool and utility to go and reset and return to the workplace with greater productivity. Was the timing incredibly poor that it really messed up this trip? Are there things that you couldn't do? I have a lot of clients, and I know my Cecil County folks are totally going to connect and relate to this. Are you a motorcycle rider? Could you not ride your bike? Did you get in the accident at the beginning of the ideal bike season and you just started feeling better now when the weather's crap and it's raining every day and you weren't going to go on your bike anyway? Did you just lose 3 months of motorcycle riding out there in beautiful weather? Well, that's part of these claims too. So it's different for each and every person. Everybody has different life experiences, things that they enjoy, things that they do on a regular basis. The timing of these accidents makes a big difference. What is a value? What is the value of your day worth? How many of those days were messed up or altered or just set off track because of this accident. These are the things that we try to do and try to talk to our clients about because, and this is totally why just grabbing some Google result is not going to work, because you might be a motorcycle rider and the next person isn't. All of your daily living activities, whether they be more tasks, chores, and otherwise, that maybe it sat and it couldn't get done, or more just recreational, usually a mix of both because we work and we play. It's kind of what we have to do. All of those things are factored into it. What we do here is try to get to know who you are, and we encourage you, again, to make sure you're communicating this to your doctors. Hey, I haven't been able to get out on the bike for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks. If it shows up in the medical records, it's stronger and easier for us to make the argument about it with these cases. So here's what it's not. It's not some arbitrary, take the medical bills, double it. Take the medical bills, triple it. Oh, there's a broken bone, multiply it by 10. No, it's not that simple. It's definitely not that simple. It's very, very much a moving target. It's a living being, so to speak, because again, everybody values different things that they do in their life differently. Everybody has a whole set of their activities of daily living that they're responsible for, that they're interested in, and each of these accidents affect everybody differently. And the way that let's say that you're a gamer and that's the thing that you love to do and it doesn't affect you at all. Well, maybe it doesn't affect you at all. It's not a cookie cutter. It's not a one size fits all scenario for everybody, but it's so important for us to know and for your doctors to know the things that you're doing on a daily basis that are impacted by it. Wages, medical bills, we've talked about those in past episodes. This is the meat and potatoes of what really escalates the value of these cases, and no two are ever anywhere near the same. So that's kind of the little, just the tastes, the surface level touch of what kind of things that we are looking for in determining pain and suffering. Also, the length of care, what it took for you to recover. There is a time element there. A lot of times, especially judges, love to look and say, hey, they went to physical therapy for 3 months. They went to the ER. They took an ambulance, and they have arbitrary values. Every judge values these things differently. They typically tend to have a blueprint in their mind of what certain things are worth, and they tend to give awards. And this is the same in any jurisdiction. They have already pre-calculated what certain things are worth to them. Now, can you get in there as a trial attorney and display additional things that are going to matter to some judges and not others? Absolutely. Most of the cases that we handle involve communicating those things to juries. So it's a complete mixed bag. And it's a matter of, hey, which 6 jurors got in the box that get to decide this week what this claim is worth? So it's a super complicated thing. It's obviously why you need to hire somebody like me to handle this for you, to make sure it gets taken care of properly. So I wanted to put this out there. I should have clicked this earlier. If you have already commented in the chat, I have already added your name to the list, and we're going to do this drawing in just like 2 minutes. Let's say at 10:15. So a little over a minute, then we're going to hit this thing. I'm going to try to do this. I think I've got it figured out how to do this live. So it's basically going to be last call. We got 3 people in on the drawing. Somebody's going to win a pair of these tickets. These are center ice, 9th row at the Wells Fargo Center for October 19th. It's a Saturday evening. It is, I believe, oh, look, we got another one in there. What's going on? Good morning, Kevin. I'm going to try to put your name in there and maybe even spell it right. That's right. Perfect. We got Scott in there, who is the owner of the grocery outlet. If you have not been to the grocery outlet here in Elkton, make sure you hit up the grocery outlet. Shop there first. You're probably going to find a lot of stuff a lot cheaper. You're not going to find everything there, but hey, Scott's in here, so I'm going to give the store a plug because it's a great place. It's really right down the street from my office, so it's also super convenient for me. So yeah, we got a bunch of entries in here. It looks like we're going to do this shortly. Before I do that, and while I have everybody's heightened attention, especially people who might want to win tickets to sporting events, I'm going to plug one more event that's happening here locally. Now, this event isn't until November, but I highly recommend getting tickets for this as soon as possible. This is a fundraiser show for the Maryland Legends and Lady Dukes. They are two sports training programs here for youth. Really awesome program. They've put so many people into schools on scholarship for either softball or baseball. They are doing a fundraiser show on Thursday, November 14th. It's going to be at Singerly Fire Company. And check this out. You see the purple and the green. This should touch so many people in this area. If you are a Ravens fan or you are an Eagles fan, all you need to do is go to betweentwominds.com, get tickets to this show, go to this show. No additional purchase is going to be necessary. This is a 2-act show, mind reading for 45 minutes. Then they take an intermission and then a hypnosis show in the second half. At the intermission, every attendee will be entered into the drawing to win a pair of tickets to the December 1st game at M.T. Bank Stadium, the Eagles at the Ravens. These tickets, if you were to go on StubHub or SeatGeek or the NFL Ticket Exchange, you're going to pay over $1,000 a seat. All you got to do is show up, buy a ticket, support the cause, come see a great night of entertainment, and you could win the tickets. So we are here. We got 4 wonderful people entered. I am going to see if I can figure out how to share this screen, put my wheel of names up here. Hopefully you can still hear me. I got the 4 names on here, so you got a 25% chance of winning. We've got the logo in there for that show that's coming up, betweentwominds.com, and we are going to spin this bad boy. Let me shuffle these names. It's just going to change where they are on there. It's not going to really affect anything. And away we go. Let's see who wins these tickets. Tick, 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 tick. I believe, hey, we got a little round of applause. Kevin, who's my copier guy here in the office. We're going to stop sharing. Congratulations to Kevin Schmidt. You have won a pair of tickets. Great seats. I want you to take pictures. I want you to tag me on social media when you go there. Thank you to everybody for tuning in. That's all we got for this week's stream. I am going to see if this becomes a bigger thing. We're going to try to give away tickets to other stuff throughout. It may not be every week. There may not be an event coming up. But I'm going to see what I can do to give out free stuff. Maybe we'll get some local businesses involved. Maybe Scott, maybe you give us a gift card to the grocery outlet. We give one of those away one week. Who knows? Endless opportunities. If you're a local business here in Elton, if you want to be featured on this show and have us give something away, it could be tickets to an event. It could be a gift card at your establishment. Who knows? Who cares? Let's make this a regular thing. Anyway, I hope you guys learned some stuff about pain and suffering. It's so much more than what I can do in like a 15-minute podcast episode. So if you are in a situation like this, call my office at 885-6200. It's what we do. In fact, as you've seen on this podcast, if it is a topic that's not about auto accidents, I'm going to get a guest on here. We're going to interview them. We're going to talk about what it is. Tomorrow is October 1st. And one of the things that is changing, a lot of new laws go into effect in Maryland, either on July 1st or October 1st. And something that my office used to do a lot of, which we don't really do now, we've really kind of drilled down and focused almost exclusively on these automobile accidents, are expungements of certain charges in your criminal record here in the state of Maryland. Next week, I'm going to try to get somebody on to talk about some new changes in the expungement laws that will take effect tomorrow. So they'll be a little less than a week old if I can get them on here next week. If not, we'll do it the following week. But we're going to cover those new expungement laws sometime in the next couple of weeks. That's all I got for you today. Thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. Please share this. Please tell a friend. I'd love to have this thing grow. I'd love to be able to give away prizes each and every week, if not at least half the time. There will be more Flyers tickets throughout the season. And again, one last plug for this event. Show up there because these are the most coveted ticket in the NFL this year. These tickets, like I said, are going for over $1,000 a seat, which means there's going to be a valuable prize here that all you have to do is buy a ticket and show up to this event, and you have a chance to win that's worth probably close to $2,500 after all the taxes and fees and all the other junk fees that the ticket resellers put out there. So come support a great cause. It's a nonprofit, and maybe you get a chance to win those highly coveted tickets. So till next time, this is your accident and injury guy, Jobeth Bowers, right here in my Elkton office, signing off. Have a happy week.